A very warm welcome to everyone watching this video. Today we are going to study tenses. A verb form that generally shows the time of an action is called tense. For example, the sun rises in the morning. There are three tenses in English: present, past and future. Each tense has four subkinds or aspects that exactly express the degree of completion of an action. They can clearly be understood with the help of a table. Here we can see that each tense is divided in four subcategories. These are simple or indefinite tense, continuous or progressive tense, perfect and perfect continuous tense. So let us first study simple present tense. A simple present tense is used for habitual or repeated actions. I read the newspaper every morning. I wake up early in the morning. I go for a walk every day. These sentences show my habit that I do every morning, every day. It is also used for universal or eternal truths. Plants produce their own food by photosynthesis. The sun rises in the east. The earth rotates on its axis. It is also used to state general facts. Oil floats on water. Or it is also used for things that stay same for a long time. His father works in a bank. I am a teacher. In simple present tense, we use base form of verb, that is first form of verb. With singular subjects, we use s or es in the base form of verb, as he reads newspaper every morning. But in negative or interrogative sentences, we use do not or does not. With singular subjects, we use does not, and with does not, we use base form of verb. He does not read the newspaper every morning. He does not read. With plural subjects or with I, we use base form of verb without s or es. I read the newspaper every morning. And in negative or interrogative sentences, we use do not. I do not read the newspaper every morning. Do they read the newspaper every morning? The next is present continuous tense. It is used to express an action which is progressive or going on at a particular time in the present. The boys are playing hockey. I am singing a song. With I, we use am. Singular is, plural are. They are, we are, the children are. The boys are playing hockey. I am reading a newspaper. It is used to express an action which is a temporary habit. He is playing tennis these days. I am reading Merchant of Venice these days. It is also used to express an action which is going to happen in near future. The mobile company is launching a new model next week. Actually, the mobile company has planned to launch a new model. But here, as it is their intention that they are going to do that, a mobile company is launching a new model next week. The next is present perfect tense. It denotes an action that has just been completed, or we can say action just finished. We have eaten all the cookies that were kept in the tin. We have completed our work. Perfect tense is also used to talk about an experience from past. I have seen the Taj Mahal in moonlight. Present perfect is also used to express past action whose time is not definite. I have never known him to be angry. This tense denotes an action that started in past, continued for some time period, and has just completed. They have lived in this city for 30 years. Action started 30 years ago here, and it has recently completed. Now let us move to present perfect continuous tense. It is used when an action that started in the past is still continuing. I have been living in Delhi for 2 years. I have been writing a letter since morning. Here we should remember that since is used for point of time. For example, since Monday, since 9 o'clock, since last month, since morning. While for is used for period of time. For example, for 2 weeks, for many hours, for a week, for some time. Now the next is simple past tense. It is used for an action which happened once in the past. For example, I did well in the test. I went to the market. It is used to express past habits. They always enjoyed visiting their friends. It was their past habit. For present habit, we use present indefinite tense, simple present tense, while for past habit, we use simple past, past indefinite tense. Repeated or habitual actions in the past can also be expressed by used to infinitive. We used to write a composition every week. It was my past habit. For this, I can use used to. One thing we should remember that in negative and interrogative sentences in simple past tense, we use base form of verb with did. He did not complete his work on time. Did he complete his work on time? We should remember that when we use did in negative and interrogative, we should not use second form. We should use only first form of verb. Now let's move to past continuous tense. It is used to show that something continued for some time in past. Everyone was shouting. My mother was cooking lunch. At that point, this action was in progress. For an action which was happening at a particular point when another one took place in the past. He was reading a newspaper when I entered the room. Here you can see that 2 actions are mentioned. He was reading a newspaper. I entered the room. The action that was in progress will be mentioned in continuous tense, while the other action will be mentioned in simple past. It is used with verbs which show change or growth. For example, the children were growing up fast. It doesn't show that the growth was continued at that time, at that particular time, but it was a continuous process. That is why we use continuous tense. Past perfect tense. It is used to express an action that was completed before another action started in the past. The patient had fainted before the doctor arrived. Here again 2 actions are mentioned. The patient had fainted, the doctor arrived. we should remember that the previous action should be used in past perfect form, while the later action will be mentioned in simple past. Now the past perfect continuous tense. This tense is used for an action that began before a certain point in the past and continued up to that point. When I reached there, they had already been debating for an hour. Here you can see that the debate had started 1 hour ago. It continued till 1 hour, till the point I reached there. So the action started in past, continued for some time before the point mentioned. Here again we should remember that the point of time is mentioned with since, while the period of time is mentioned with for. Now let us move to future tense. Simple future tense. It is used for an action that will take place at a particular time in future. For example, Riya will sing now. I will drink a cup of coffee. Now, we should remember that if we talk about grammar, shall should be used with I and we, while will should be used with the other subjects. But the use of shall has become archaic now, and in general, will is used with all the subjects. The future can also be expressed by going to plus infinitive if there is the idea of intention or certainty. He is going to leave for London next Sunday. Next Sunday he will leave for London. It is his intention. That is why we have said that he is going to leave. He is planning to leave for London. Now let us move to future continuous tense. This tense is used to express an action which will be in progress at a particular time in future. I will be playing tennis at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's my intention, it's my planning that tomorrow at 10 a.m. I will be playing tennis. This action will be in progress. So, we will use this action in continuous tense. The next is future perfect tense. This tense is used to indicate the completion of an action by a certain period of time in the future. By that particular time, the action will be finished. I will have cleaned the bathroom before 7 o'clock. Point of time is given here. Before 7 o'clock, I will have cleaned. I will complete my work of cleaning the bathroom. So, here we will use future perfect tense. I will have cleaned the bathroom before 7 o'clock. Next example is, when you arrive, the train will have left. Here you can see that two actions are mentioned. You arrive, the train will have left. Here, the train will have left, the previous action, that will be finished by that point of time. And when you arrive, the other action will be in simple present. The last one is future perfect continuous tense. It is used when an action is to continue up to a certain point of time in the future. At 6 o'clock, I will have been sitting here for 10 hours. It will take 10 hours for me to be sitting there, and it will be 6 o'clock. Point of time is mentioned here, and I will be doing this for 10 hours. So the action will continue till 10 hours before that particular point of time. Now children, we have gone through all the tenses. Go through all the tenses once again. Look at their structure carefully, how the sentences are framed in each tense, and how and when we need to use that particular tense.